Hi guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my cooking channel. Today we're going to make a Brazilian fish stew. Don't ask me how to pronounce it. I don't know. I don't want to butcher the language. But we tried it for the holidays and it's delicious. I took a little time off for Thanksgiving to celebrate with family, and plus I've been having problems with my kitchen again, so most of the burners weren't working like they should have been. Needless to say, Thanksgiving dinner was not the best. So I needed to recover from that, but everything's working fine now thanks to our wonderful maintenance people. So come join me in my kitchen as I cook. Today's ingredients are cilantro and parsley. I have tomato paste, coconut milk, seafood stock. I have mahi here, red, orange, and yellow bell pepper. I have a frozen habanero, which you can omit if you don't like it. I have lime, garlic, coriander powder, salt, an onion, and black pepper, and of course olive oil. All right, so I've put some lemon juice, salt, and pepper on about 2.5 pounds of mahi, and I'm gonna let it sit here for 15 minutes while I prep my other ingredients. I'm gonna start by putting some olive oil in a hot Dutch oven pot, and to save time, I've julienned my onions, all my peppers, and a little bit of habanero. At this point, it's just the tip of the habanero, so it's gonna be sweet. It's not really gonna be spicy. And I'm gonna pop this in here and start cooking it down. I had my heat at a level 8, but I lowered it to a 6. And I'm just gonna cook these down a little bit before I add the garlic. All right, now we're gonna add the garlic. This is a little more than I showed. I basically just pureed it. I put it in the NutriBullet. You can put it in a regular blender. And I just blended it with some olive oil. And now I have some puree. That way the tons of garlic that I bought won't go bad. So then I just grabbed a whole bunch and put it in here. So maybe like garlic to taste, because I love a lot of garlic, so I'm going to put more than your average person, I guess. Also, we're doing this not in order, because when I was taught how to do this, they told me a very specific order, but it didn't really make sense to me with my little knowledge of cooking. So because this tomato paste goes in at the end after you put the coconut milk and everything, and I don't think that makes sense for me. So if I offend anyone with the order of the cooking, I apologize for that. This is just my way of making this delicious Brazilian fish stew. So I put the tomato paste, so I'm gonna let this cook down for a couple minutes before I add the diced tomatoes. And I did forget to put that on my ingredients list, so I'll show you right now. Hopefully it doesn't go in the thing. I have a whole can of diced tomatoes that I'm going to add to that as soon as it's done cooking down the tomato paste. All right, now that that's cooked down a little bit, I'm going to add the whole can of diced tomatoes. These are a petite diced tomato. And I'm going to start mixing this up. To this, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of coriander, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. We already salted and peppered the fish, and it's soaking in some lime right now, but none of the ingredients in this pot have salt added. So I'm putting a little bit of salt because that's a lot of ingredients. Oops, sorry about that. I'm also to this going to add half a cup of fish stock, which I read the ingredients, and is basically just anchovy and pollock boiled down into a stock. I'm sure they use vegetables and other things too. I was mainly looking to see what kind of fish they use. So I'm going to let this come to a boil, so I'm going to put it back on an 8. And now that it's boiling, I'm gonna put in our coconut milk and stir this up. This smells really good, guys. At this point, you can taste it if you want, but I wouldn't adjust seasonings yet because we're gonna add the fish that has the lemon or the lime, sorry. You can also use vinegar if you don't want to use lime, or if you don't have lime. We're gonna add that, and that has lime, salt, and pepper, so I'm gonna leave this as it is right now, and I'm gonna add our fish. Okay, now our fish is in there. I was talking away like if I was telling you guys something and I didn't even record. So I'm just gonna wait for this to come back to boil and then put it on low and cover it. That way we can cook it down. It's gonna take about 15 minutes or so for the fish to cook down, and I'll be making some rice, and then we'll get the cilantro and parsley added at the end. The fish is done. It's been 15 minutes, and I opened it up a little bit ago and cheated. See how it all flaked off? You have to be careful when you're stirring. If you want to stir, that's fine, but be careful you break your fish up. I don't mind because we're serving it over rice anyway. Let's see, so I'm gonna add our cilantro and our parsley right now to just give it some extra flavor. You wanna add that at the end, and you can turn the heat off. Let's see. It's a lot. I just took like almost a whole bunch for both things. And now I'll stir it up, turn off the heat. Let's turn that off, and we're done. Let's plate this. All right, guys, I'm gonna taste this. It's piping hot. It's so delicious. You can taste the coconut milk, you can taste the lime, the garlic, you taste everything. The flavors have combined nicely, and it's very nice, and it goes great with this rice. I made some basmati rice with garlic and olive oil. Delicious. I welcome you to try this at home. I'm just gonna keep eating because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. So if you liked this video, go ahead and hit like down below, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps me a lot, guys. And until next time, bon appetit.